just moved to a new area and I'm starting up a locksmith business all over again. And one of the people who I've managed to get on board straight away is a local estate agent. And this particular property is for sale. And they've got a problem with this door, in as much as the key that was left with the door, which is this one here, no longer works. Doesn't matter what you do, how you wiggle it, the key is not actually operating the lock. And the door's very loose in the frame, so the bolt isn't actually bound in the keep. So obviously there's a problem with the lock inside here. The key suggests that it's a 5-lever lock. I've got a sneaky suspicion that this is not actually the right key. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look inside that keyhole a lot closer. I'm going to use a scope. Don't need to use a scope, but obviously I've got them here, so I might as well use it. This is a 70-degree scope that's come from China, and on the bottom there is a light source that came from 1010 Security, a very handy little light source. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that in the door and see if we can do some idents, and also take a look at the levers and work out how we're going to get this thing open. Right, I've fitted the scope to my phone using an adapter, and this is a little bit like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut, but anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to pop this inside. And okay, we can see it's a grey coloured lock case, and it's non-curtained, so that would suggest that it's possibly going to be a union. Let's just go in a little bit further. Okay, there we can see the bolt thrower, and we've got 3 levers inside the lock, so it is indeed a 3-lever non-curtained union by the looks of it. And if we look at the actual levers themselves, you can see, in fact you can actually see the key profile there. So the lever furthest away from me, this one here, is a low lift lever, and then you've got sort of like a high lift, and then not so high. So there we go. What you'll notice is that if I point towards the bolts on this lock, you can see the hinge and the lever springs just living up there. So this is actually, the levers are hinged on the right, as opposed to normally on a lot of mortise locks, they are hinged on the left here somewhere. There you can see the gates and the levers there, look. So yeah, so that means that to pick this, I've got one of several choices. I can use a 2-in-1, or potentially I can use some tryout keys and see how they're going to work. So I need a low lift, and then something that's slightly higher, and by the looks of it then something that's not quite so high. So yeah, let's see how we get on with that. So that's what the scope has shown me through this keyhole, and so now we've identified it and we know what we're dealing with lever wise. So I've had a dig around. These are the tryout keys, and looking through them, possibly the closest key that I'm going to get to the profile of the levers inside here is something like this, where we've got a low lift at the front. It then goes medium high, whereas this lock is actually high medium. So but if I jiggle this around and the gates are really quite wide and not very accurate on these, then we should in theory be able to open this lock using this tryout key. So let's just pop it in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it up and down and angle it and try it. I can hear it's lifting the levers. Oh, you beauty. There we go. Yes. So basically we've used the tools that I've got available to identify the lock, to see what was inside of it, and then to also find out what the key profile roughly would be. And there we go, the door's open. You can do exactly the same thing without a scope. You can put a key in there and you can see how far the key turns before it hits the bottom or the bellies of the levers. And you can work out from that whether you've got high or low lift levers in there. But as you can see, it's a Union 3 lever, and in fact, let's just confirm that. What have we got going on here? It's all very rusty. Somewhere on there, it's probably going to say, well, there we are. Yeah. So we can't really identify that. But anyway, the door's unlocked. We know what it is. We know that it's actually a 3 lever and not a 5 lever lock. So the key is not the correct key for this. But anyway, the agent has asked me to leave the door open because it's an internal door, as you can see. And not to replace the lock, but that's fine because I've had a bit of fun, had a bit of practice, and there you go, the lock is open. Just as I was walking out, I've seen this. I've been through all of these keys. None of those are the original key for that Union lock. And here as well, I've never seen quite so many keys for a house. Yeah, most amazing. This is probably the closest key, but that's for a 5 lever. Not for this particular one, but there you go. A wonderful example of key control.